Hey everybody, this is Debbie! And there's Randy!
Yeah.
And what are you?
You've been calling me a little crooked man.
Yes, you are a little crooked man, and you live in a crooked house, and you got a crooked wife, and a crooked sheep.
We don't got no cats or mice. We got some mice. We ain't got no cat.
I said sheep.
They're crooked pennies. But anyway,
Yes'm.
I'm working on 1-cylinder Briggs and Stratton engine.
Why?
Because I wanted to get that snapper.
You never did hang up my swing set. My
You
swing.
never did paint it yet.
I know, I gotta paint it.
Anyway, I've got a good excuse. I can always think up the best excuses for not doing something. I guess I'll start this off with a story, though.
You know what? Have you ever heard of the Arkansas Chainsaw Massacre?
I seen a big orange softball over a while ago. Remind me of the story.
And oh yes, I know this
Debbie,
story.
her mom was telling me about how she was really a softball player.
Yes, she
could put
loved
that ball
softball.
wherever she wanted it to go.
She loved
And
softball.
They had a softball and that, and the
And a
suggestion
baseball
was
bat.
Go alongside the house backyard there and
Kind of in the
play
field.
softball a little bit. Well, I felt for it. Dating Debbie. I guess she didn't like me way back then.
Nope. She never did like you.
She wanted to be up to bat first thing. And I'm left-handed, but I don't throw them balls that nobody can hit. I always try to throw the ball where it go right over the base where the people can hit it. It ain't no fun with people striking you out. I don't care whether I win a game or not. That ain't important. So I wind up.
Okay, then why do you go to auctions and try to outbid the other?
That's a different deal. We're all on even playing field. It's just whoever got the deepest pocket and stupid enough to bid the longest.
Okay.
That's a different deal.
Oh, all righty.
But anyway, I throw that ball and it comes right center over the plate there. And her mother, she
Smacked
that
it.
sucker
Yeah.
with that
Wow. Uh-huh.
And it's a softball. I ain't got no gloves, but I'm young and I'm tough.
You're 21.
So that ball's coming down through there right at me, and I stand there and I put my hands up like this. I'm gonna catch this ball. And that 100-mile-an-hour softball hit my hands and blew my hands apart, and they hurt. But it didn't hurt near as much as my nose did. It whacked me right on the nose, and the blood just flew. And bled for a long time.
I should have told her to aim a little higher.
I had 2 black eyes. I mean, it laid me out. Anyway,
and
she
then
said she could put that ball wherever she wanted to go.
And she did. And then she said, "Here, suck on a silver dime. It'll make your nose stop bleeding." And you know what Randy did? He had the nerve to swallow my mom's silver dime.
And she told me to look for that dime when I pooped. She wanted it back. She did.
And you never did.
Nope.
You never looked for it. You're a meanie.
And I got another story that's unbelievable, but it's true.
Oh, gosh. I'm afraid now.
My daddy, we had this old Impala.
Okay.
Lift on
I'm
it.
not afraid now.
3-point lift on it.
Mm-hmm.
And we was back on his back 40.
Uh-huh.
Was getting a little bunch of clearing, and we cut these trees down.
Oh,
and
I know this
we was
story.
skidding them on up there out of where we was going to disc it up into the edge of the woods, cut them up for firewood later on.
Mm-hmm.
And Daddy had broke his pelvis when he was in the 40s, and he was kind of crippled, but he drove a tractor. To save him getting on and off the tractor, I'd hook logs and unhook them. Walk up there where we was dragging them to and unhook them. And I was walking back down there looking at which log I was going to hook to next. And I tripped and fell, and before I could get up, my dad run over me with that tractor, backed over me. And he backed up there, and I could see him out of this eye up there on the tractor seat when he got stopped.
Mm-hmm.
And Impala weighs 5,000 pounds.
So you're a super dude. You can withstand 5,000
I
pounds.
looked at him, he was white as a sheet. And I said, I'm all right. I said, but I want you to pull off of me. He said, you sure? I'll go to the house and get a jack. I said, no, pull off of me. It don't feel no good. Pull off of me. And he got excited, and instead of putting it in first gear, I think he put it in third gear. And that OM had quick governors on it, and when he let off that clutch, them governors kicked and it jerked, and I hurt them. And it was in the spring this time of year, and it was wet, and it mashed me down in the dirt. Miraculously, there's none of them little stumps or stalks.
So I could have took plaster and went up there and made an impression.
You could have made an impression of most of Randy in the dirt. Anyway, so he pulled off me, and I got up. And there was a little spring down there that run, part-time spring. It dried up in the middle of summer. But I knew that little spring was over. I went over that little spring, and I was over at that little spring, and he come up there. He said, need to get in the truck. And he said, I'll take you to the hospital. He said, you're broke up inside wanting water. I said, no, I got dirt in my mouth. I'm trying to get that dirt and crap rest out of my mouth. I said, I'm all right. And
Famous last words.
I got up. I was driving an old 62 GMC we had named Hannibal. I got an old Hannibal, and I drove up to the house. And my ankles was hurting real bad. And I went down that night, and I actually milked the cow. And the next morning, I couldn't get out of bed. And I had hard. Debbie had to help, and the bathroom was right there by the bedroom. And Debbie had to help me get to the bathroom, and I laid around for about 2 weeks. And I had to go back to work. I went back to work. My ankles were still swelled up.
Mm-hmm.
I'd run that old cat, and I was stacking timber to burn, and I would catch it on the corner of the blade where I could pull the steering clutch and move it around. I was a good enough operator that I didn't have to press on them 2 pedals on the floor to turn that old cat.
You should have got some sticks or some canes.
Besides, I was all by myself. There was no boss or nobody around to watch me.
Yeah.
And if they noticed anything, they never said nothing to me about it. But I went ahead, and every day I got just a little bit better, and I got over that. But, it should have really killed me, 5,000-pound tractor back over you, but anyway.
I just can't get a break.
But that was tractor. Okay, Briggs and Stratton. That snapper that Debbie likes to make fun of that looks so good because it never did work.
Uh-huh.
Here's the motor off of it.
Boy, it don't look good.
And the carburetor was all gummed up, and the gas tank all gummed up, and it's not making any sparks. And I sanded on the flywheel right there and cleaned the rust off and filed the points that I got to making sparks. But then I got thinking I got a better motor. I had this one right here, and it's a Briggs and Stratton, and
what about that V8 in the shop over there?
No, I don't want a V8 on tiller yet. Maybe someday. It's a Briggs and Stratton.
Well, you might as well put it in a car, and then you can kill in a car.
It's a lot newer engine.
Yeah.
And it's got electronic ignition on it. Don't have points in it. And it starts. And what I do with these old engines.
What do you do with
I always put these rubber plugs in there to keep the bugs out of them, and any water or anything getting in them. Pull the plug out and put a little oil in there. But
you didn't put nothing in that hole right there.
Anyway, it's got the same size shaft on the back. I done put that bracket on it. Carburetor and gas tank was bad.
And what happened?
I cleaned and cleaned and cleaned on that gas tank, and I finally got that gas tank pretty clean. Right here's.
It's got a bunch of holes in it.
This one's it. I got that gas tank pretty clean. And I started messing with carburetors and shoot. A carburetor kit.
Yeah.
You just buy a new carburetor.
Well,
so Debbie got on their internet and she ordered me this carburetor.
Oh, wow.
And it fits. It's a Chinese carburetor. I ain't never bought a new
How
lawnmower
come you get a new
before.
carburetor and I don't get diddly?
But that diaphragm back there goes bad.
But I did get something.
Yeah. But anyway, the problem
Yeah, what's the problem?
with these carburetors
It's too
and these
shiny.
fuel tanks
It's too shiny.
is that stem that sucks up that fuel and puts it up in this second chamber.
Doesn't go all the way to the bottom?
It don't go all the way to the bottom.
Well, add a straw
And
to
if
it.
you can let this sucker, you can let this engine sit there and run until it dies. It burned all the fuel. And you'll still have about a eighth of an inch of gas in the bottom of that tank.
Well, that's when you get the straw and siphon it out.
Even if you ain't got corn gas, even if you got the best gas in the world in there.
Yeah.
What happened being you got fuel in there?
The best gas in the world was back when I was a kid.
Well, I know it.
When it give you a high when you poured it.
Yeah, you was that kid to take that gas cap off and stick your nose in there.
Yeah, I thought it smelled good.
Yep. Anyway,
Well, my dad had a gas station. I was always around gas.
partially filled tank, even with just a little bit in the bottom of it, will condensate because where cold air and warm air meets, wherever it's at, and there's temperature changes, and you get rust in your tank. Now, I got studying on that.
Is that what I got? Rust in my
I
tank?
like to drain everything out completely dry.
Uh-huh.
So what I done?
And how did you do that?
What I done? I fixed me a deal.
Oh.
See right here?
That's going to link.
I have drilled a hole in that
Oh,
thing.
that's going to link. I can tell by looking at it.
And I have soldered a fine thread nut onto it.
Who did that soldering job? Christopher?
Well, I ain't a professional solderer, and I used a little propane torch.
Well, I can
But
tell you're not professional.
I did use acid core solder. I used this little torch.
Oh, boy, oh, boy.
Anyway,
Yes'm.
I use this acid core solder. And after you get done using your acid core solder, which I hadn't done it yet.
What do? You take a hammer and beat.
Yeah,
You got to beat it flat where.
You want to flatten it a little where your acid don't leak out into your
Where
solder.
dirt daubers don't get in there?
No, just where your acid don't leak out.
Really? There's
But-
actual acid in there?
What that'll do, I put some washers
Awful.
on there to where my threads of my bolt don't stick up above the nut and get corroded
You
and
mean
not
that
want to come
nut?
out.
There's nothing that
See
sticks.
what I did?
There's nothing that sticks above this nut.
When I put that together, I used a brand new nut.
A brand. Sorry. Oh, it's right there.
I used a brand new clean nut. I piled on it a little bit on the bottom.
Hold still. Couldn't see it. Hold still. Gotta find it. Wait. Okay.
And I put it on a bolt. Get one of my favorite wrenches here. And I drilled a hole.
You broke it.
No, I drilled a hole right in there.
Oh.
And I screwed that in there
Uh-huh.
a little ways.
You know that's gonna link.
Well, yeah, that ain't gonna hold up.
Uh-huh.
But I tightened that nut up after I got it in there.
I'm not touching that one.
Okay, now I could heat that up and solder it.
Okay.
And I'm thinking JB Weld, folks, would work just as good.
Probably.
That tank there, I didn't mind soldering on that because I had worked on it and cleaned on it and this and that and other, and it didn't have no gas residue, wasn't going to blow up. But if you got one that's had old gas and stuff in that, I'd suggest you just use some good epoxy or JB Weld. But what I was going to show...
Well, first you take a match and throw in there and burn the gas out.
Let me reach behind Debbie.
Ouch, you stepped on my toe, you stinkweed.
Briggs and Stratton had thought about putting
Oh, yeah.
a drain on it. See, there's a hump on there.
Yeah, hold still. Let me find it. Okay. Yep, there's a hump.
And then
You
there's got a
sure?
little...
That looks like the bump on your head.
Yeah, about the same size.
Yeah.
There's a little bubble
Yeah.
on
I see
these
it.
right here.
Yes, I see.
Low
it.
place. And see, that's another place that gas is just going to sit because it can't be sucked out of it.
How do you know that's just not to hold it level
Well,
on,
what I wanna
on the
do-
tiller? Yeah.
I'm on a mission now. I'm going to take all these little one-cylinder motors and I'm going to fix them to where I can drain the gas completely out of them, all the way.
Well,
done with them.
Tannerite will take the gas all out of it.
Well, it's just an ongoing battle.
Yeah, Tannerite.
Okay, now
Tannerite take care of it. You won't have no
This one that I
motors.
fixed.
Yeah.
I've got a collection of these little magnets.
Oh my gosh.
And what I'm gonna do?
You throwed it in there.
Yeah.
Oh,
That way.
that's gonna attract nails and all kinds of stuff.
Yep. Any little particles of rust or anything that come loose inside this tank.
Well, being there's a nail in there, every time I go by, I'll throw in a nut.
Well, you can do that. It don't matter. But what it'll do, any little particles of rust,
Yes, I know.
will stick to that magnet rather than get sucked up in my
Yes,
carburetor.
I know.
I got a bunch of these little magnets.
Um,
Just different sizes. They're just right.
Where are you going to put them
And
at?
I do the same thing with tractor.
Where are you going to put them at?
Maybe I'll stick to you.
Because I was going to say, my refrigerator is covered with art from the grandkids, and oh my God, I always
I have
need.
to hide them.
You better hide them.
But anyway,
Yes.
so I've been messing with that
But you haven't
Camper.
been cleaning, I noticed.
and walk around here. Yeah, I have too.
You have been?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I'm looking, but first I gotta not trip over your crap. I mean your antique stuff. My gosh, if this just gets any more antique.
Right there's a 402 Chevrolet big block.
402.
71 motor with a cracked cylinder wall.
Oh, that's
And that's
terrible.
a 350 that Debbie slung the rods loose in.
How do you know I did it?
You was the last one drove it.
That don't mean you didn't loosen it up.
Okay. I've got these Troy belt tillers.
Don't brag on it. I don't never see you use it.
I ain't never used it.
That's why I said don't brag on it.
This in here's got electronic ignition. The flywheel's all rusted up and the coil was bad, and I've got a coil for it.
Uh-huh.
Then I got to do that and fix the gas tank and the carburetor for it.
Looks like you've been working on it. There's all kinds of tools.
Yeah, I've took the
And
rack.
what's that thing right there?
I'll talk about that in a minute.
Oh, sorry.
I took the rack off the front of it.
Okay. Well, I thought that was so you could
And
sit on it.
This has been used very little. There's still paint on the tines.
Wow.
And I'm going to sell this.
Oh, you're going to sell it?
I've got a coil for it right here.
Okay. For sale.
Yeah, I'm going to sell that because
Non-working.
I'm keeping this one.
You're keeping
It's got an
this
8-horse Kohler motor on it.
Wow.
And it's making sparks. I tested it with my little spark plug tester.
Wow.
But what it was is an electric start.
Uh-huh.
And I
And?
changed all this on here and fixed it where rope start.
Rope start.
Yep.
I didn't have electric start.
But I filed the points and that's a Kohler motor.
Uh-huh.
And the reason the gas tank's up here like this is because the little fuel pump on the side don't work.
Oh, dear.
So
So
I'm
it's
gonna
gravity fed.
Gravity feed.
Yes. I know
Anyway,
something.
And it's plastic tank. These
Uh-huh.
plastic tanks,
What
you
do
can
they
flush
do?
them out with hot water and bleach,
Oh.
and they'll come clean.
Okay.
But anyway, both of these are what they call a convertible model.
Convertible.
Yeah, they got
Yeah,
this.
because they ain't got no hood on them.
No, they got this lever right here.
Oh.
And that lever disengages your PTO, and you can unbolt the back end off and put your metal plate on here
Uh-huh.
and pull a plow or something with it if you felt
Oh.
like it. Okay. This old snapper right here,
Yes'm.
that's old.
What part of it's snapper? Because
Well, I've got all the parts to it.
it don't look like much.
I've got an engine port down and everything.
Is it a twist?
Well, a lot of people don't know.
You twist it like that to start the engine?
No, this is where the handlebars hook on.
Oh.
But there's a transmission here.
Oh, and you're keeping it.
And the pour grease in the transmission, that's your fill hole right
Oh, wow.
there. And if you want to know what year these old tillers are,
Yeah. 1800s?
it says right there, tiller serial number right there on that
Oh.
pad. You clean that off and look them numbers up that'll be on that pad under all that dirt. It'll tell you what year and model it is. But this is a real old one. It don't have a
So I
way
come over
to
here to look at dirt?
But I used this for years and years.
If you say so, dear.
Yeah, I about wore the tines out on it.
Okay, if you say so, dear.
And I bought this other one.
Why? Why do you keep buying this?
Bought this little pony.
Isn't this enough?
This little pony.
Okay, a Troy pony.
Gold head bottom motor on it, Briggs. Don't have a carburetor. I've never heard it run, but the tines is in real good shape. And I wore the tines out on that and over yonder. And the tires ain't no good on that and over yonder, and these tires are good. So I'm going to use the tires and the tines off of this one on my old antique one that I've had for so long. Was the plan.
Okay.
I'm going to junk it, in other words. But I didn't get much for it. Bought it at auction. I don't remember.
What'd you get for it?
I think like $7.50.
Okay, I'll give you $7.50 to go push it in the ditch.
Oh, okay, well, I don't want to push it.
Well, why
That
not?
right there.
Yes'm.
I give a guy $75 for that.
Is that gravelly?
He told me how
is
good a
this the
Wisconsin motor had on
Oh,
it.
yeah, this is the one you bought. Yeah.
And I got it started, and the first time I revved the motor up, the engine blew apart.
Well, the
Since
tires
that time-
the tires don't look too bad on it.
Since that time, I've come up with an 8-horsepower Brigg.
Wow.
Put
Look
on
at
it.
this shiny.
This motor starts and runs good. Got a plastic tank, and I ain't left gas in it. It's got everything it needs. It's a real good engine.
If you say so, dear.
But
Oh, I knew there was a but.
that thing sit on the weather before I got it. And this pulley wasn't even turning.
Oh my God.
But I filled it up with diesel fuel.
Oh, I thought it had water in it.
No, that's diesel.
Okay.
And I heated it with propane torch, and I broke part of it loose.
Oh, wow.
But I believe I'm going to have to take that whole transmission all apart
Oh, dear.
and clean all the bearings and...
You know what I would do? I'd take the tires off and haul it to Ricky Walker's.
Yeah, you probably would.
I would.
And
Along with that and
That's
that.
that over there.
That's the gravely.
that over there's a David Bradley.
Oh, David Bradley. Well, where's the gravelly at?
And I could have had it running and everything, but I want to put a motor on it that I can close the hood, and I got some of them real old motors, and I'm going to have to fix one of them for it.
Cheap.
There's a gravely right there.
Oh.
It's got the bush hog attachment in
Have
front.
you got? Why? This is why I can't park my car under the
right.
canopy.
Okay, the reason that gravely runs and everything, but the reason I ain't using it,
Yeah, why aren't you using it?
they have broke the cast iron out of part of the block
Oh.
where the exhaust manifold bolts are.
Who did that?
Before I got it.
Okay, why'd you buy it?
And there's a cover goes around there, and there's a fan bin, and it won't cool right. So I'm going to have to
Oh,
fix
it's got
that.
a radiator on it too?
No, but she's got a fan
Oh.
and fin.
And
So I got to
okay.
fix that exhaust. I've decided how I can do that. And put that shielding and stuff back on it, and I can use that to mow with. Okay, we ain't quite done.
How many more have you got?
Well, I'm a collector.
Listen here. I don't have 35 washers in the house. And I ain't got 20 stoves in the house. And so why do you need so many non-working tillers? Did someone steal it? Oh, cheapers. Okay, everyone, he's the reason I'm insane. Do 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 do. Oh, jeepers. That looks like something that could cut your legs off. I just told him that looks like something that could cut your legs off.
That is a Midland.
Midland.
And I bought that up at Hubcap.
Like fair to Midland?
I bought that at the Hubcap Junction up there at Doniphan
Uh-huh.
for $32.50.
Wow.
And
There's no motor on it.
Well, later on during the sale,
Yeah.
I seen the motor for it. Little angled Continental is what I call push me pull me motor.
Uh-huh.
It's flathead and it angles
Uh-huh.
at an angle.
Uh-huh.
And on one side of the piston is the intake valve and carburetor.
Uh-huh.
On the other side of the piston is the exhaust valve. Instead of the valve being side by side, they're on the opposite sides of the piston. And a little Continental,
Ooh.
one cylinder,
You could
very
put-
little motor.
You could put the motor out of my car
So-
right there.
I fooled around with it,
Uh-huh.
got that motor, there's pulleys and everything right, bolt right on here. Came off here, I know it did.
Uh-huh. And what
So-
happened?
I worked on it. I got it out there.
And
I
that's
clean-
why it looks like this? Because
No,
you worked
no,
on it?
listen, I cleaned the carburetor.
Oh, okay.
And I took the flywheel off and worked on the points and all that and got it making big spark.
And it blew up.
Put it all back together.
And it blew up.
Wrapped the rope around that deal. It don't have no compression.
What'd you do?
And I'm thinking, it's got a stuck valve. It's got a valve not open and closing. The valve's hung open.
So what'd you do?
So I pulled the cylinder head off.
Uh-huh.
There ain't no piston and rod in it. I've been looking for piston and rod for that little Continental engine for several years and ain't run across one on eBay or nowhere. I got a search going. I ain't found
Oh, gee, that is funny.
But anyway, it's got a circle bar mower on the front of it.
So even the
That-
great collector
well,
gets snookered.
It'll unbolt and come off. But this is a Midland,
Midland.
and I believe that over there with the locked up deal is a Simplicity.
Simplicity.
Ain't done yet.
Oh,
Ain't done yet.
oh, jeepers. Okay, I'm trying to get through the... Hey, is this a maze with trip areas? You know I don't do tripping well. Because for one thing, it hurts. Holy moly. And that's the other one? Is it all in pieces?
Yeah, that's a chore master.
Jeepers, that sucker
And
looks,
what happened?
looks heavy.
It was running, I was using it.
And it kablowied.
The tire blew out.
And it did this to it?
And I put a different tire tube in it. And I was putting it together and there's a snap ring that holds the spring in.
Uh-huh. And it blew out and hit you in the head.
It blew out and I ain't found that snap ring. So I'm gonna have to source the snap ring.
So you need to get you a little metal building to go in.
I heard it hit that roof of that canopy. It zinged past my head 900 mile an hour. I didn't realize the spring had...
Honey, your pony is at half mast.
I didn't realize
Your
the
pony
spring
is
was
at half
stretched
mast?
tight.
Are you listening to me?
Yeah,
What did I say?
something about a Ranger pony.
Zip your pants up. How does that sound?
No. But anyway.
I said zip your pants up.
Oh. Okay, I zipped them up for you. That's part of being old, I guess.
I'm going to get him Velcro pants where his zipper will always be closed.
Magnetic catches, just snap back.
Oh,
This chore
jeepers.
master.
Oh, jeepers.
This chore master.
Yes, darling.
It's the only one I've ever seen
Yeah.
that had the optional wheel weight. Big old piece of
God, that
cast
is.
iron.
I can tell
You
that's
could drop on
heavy.
your toe. It's
Don't
got-
do it. Don't do it,
It's got a
darling.
breaking plow and a shovel and a cultivator deal with it.
Uh-huh.
But anyway, I
And
seen
you're
it
going
on
to an
Facebook.
auction tomorrow, right?
What? Yeah,
And you got all this that you ain't done nothing with.
I know it. But I've been working on it. It's getting.
No, please don't say
What
that.
happened, folks,
What happened?
is Arkansas weather. It goes from too cold and wet to too hot and humid, and then it gets too hot and dry.
And
dusty.
you got to remember,
But-
he's 73 years old almost, and he's
Under this canopy,
he's got a bad case of the Sometimes a lazy butt.
Debbie, I have to admit this. Under this canopy,
Yeah.
there's always a breeze. It seems like there's always draws a breeze. It's pretty cool. And you can shift yourself
Well, then maybe
around.
we need to put the couch and the TV out
Yeah,
here.
we could do
How
that.
about the bed?
We might hang your porch swing from here.
You know why we can't? Skeeters would eat us up.
Yeah, probably.
We'd be out here flat as a flitter because our blood's all gone.
But there's a breeze right now.
It feels
So
good.
in the mornings, you can get over on this end of it.
Mm-hmm.
And the sun comes down about a third of the way. And then as the day goes on, you can shift your over. And in the evening, you're over on that end. But you're still, just like right now, there's a breeze coming underneath here. It feels pretty good.
Yes, it does.
And what it is, we've done got the weather has done changed in Arkansas.
What did it change into?
So instead of drinking beer, instead of drinking tea, I was drinking.
I know. I'm making tea right now, and
she's
he
making some tea.
he
I
didn't
might
give
drink
me
some later.
he didn't give me time enough to make it.
But anyway, I guess I'm a collector of walking tractors.
Well, please don't. If you start hanging them from the ceiling in the man cave, I'm going to cry.
My daddy had a David Bradley when I was a kid, and we used it. I don't know whatever happened to it.
Well,
He had another
you
one.
probably got a hold of it and took it apart.
He had another one that was a lot bigger with a plow, and I never could get it. It was part of his estate. They sold his farm with the hoard of junk on it. And,
I know.
he had so much junk that the scrap guy, you know, the Jew junk man, give the guy who bought my dad's farm $20,000 for all the junk that was on it. Yeah, all his junk. Old Frank got $20,000 for the junk after he picked through it and kept what he wanted.
Okay.
And he sold some of it. to
Okay.
other people.
So anyway,
But anyway, so it helped pay for the farm. For me.
but I don't want you to do that to me. I want you to get rid of your junk and we can go somewhere. We can't even go nowhere.
As they say, people in hell want ice water too, you know. That ain't happening.
Do you want me to punch you in the nose?
No. She's supposed to sing a song, but she ain't thought of one.
Nope, I ain't thought of one.
She was going to sing Crooked Man song.
Oh, God, it's not the way I remember it.
The one she made up when she was a kid.
Yeah, it's
was a
probably
lot
the
better.
one,
But she can't.
I
She
can't-
can't sing that on the internet.
I can't remember it. I made up a lot of songs when I was a kid, but
Yeah.
but
Oh, I know what I was going to tell.
what was you going to tell?
When we was little kids,
Yes, what happened?
they had these little plastic bears come out, and it was this chocolate that you put in your milk, and you made chocolate milk on. It's called Bosco. Bosco Bear.
See, I don't remember Bosco
Yeah.
Bear. Must have been before my time.
Some little wise little urchin.
Brat.
I don't know who.
It wasn't you?
No, it wasn't me.
Oh,
but
it was another.
He made up this rhyme and said, I hate Bosco. It ain't no good for me. Mama put it in my milk and tried to poison me. But I fooled Mommy. I put it in her tea. Now there ain't no mommy to try and poison me. And all the kids would sing that song every time the Bosco commercial come on TV. You know, it didn't
Yeah.
matter whose house you was at. If you was watching cartoons and Bosco commercial come on, every kid there would start singing that song. Of course, them mothers wasn't gonna buy that Bosco because the kids singing that song, and Bosco didn't last long. Bosco
Yeah,
Bear,
that's how come I-
It was gone by the time Debbie's generation come along. She's 7 years younger than me.
Cheapers.
But that's just one of them things that caught on. That kids made up that song. Some kid made it up.
And everybody sung
I mean,
it.
we had Bosco. It seemed like it was all right chocolate milk. But, you know, we had still sung the song even when we were drinking the crap, you know. It was health food, you know, it was Bosco.
Oh, Lord.
I was
Oh,
trying to think. I got that. No, don't count.
no, please don't
1,
count.
2,
Oh, please don't count.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Yes, people, he graduated from high school.
I got 9 walking tractors that I can think of.
Okay.
I don't guess I got one anywhere else. I guess that's all.
Okay.
And they might be ones at auction tomorrow.
So anyway, people, this is, guess we're going to say goodbye and good luck to you.
Yeah, goodbye and good luck to you. I am going to that auction tomorrow, sick, broke legs, broke arms, flat tires, it don't matter, I am going.
How are you going?
The best way I know how to get there, just any way I can. If I got to harness that male sheep to a cart and beat him with a stick all the way there.
Oh, for the love of
It ain't
stars.
very far. It's over at Hardy.
It's at Hardy. The sheep will die. Probably go get a mile down the road and
I
you'll
would
croak.
get Debbie to go with me, but she's got to watch kids.
Yeah,
Because that works.
Yeah, he works tomorrow, so.
Yep, she's got to watch the kids.
So anyway,
Last video. I don't know why it did so good.
Because
I don't think it's any better than any of the other
Oh,
ones.
we're so good. Oh, but anyway, I wanted to say thank you to somebody, a subscriber who said
They sent her chocolate and me some Husqvarna
oil.
chainsaw mixing oil.
Yeah. He hasn't drunk his oil yet, but I'm afraid the goodies is kind of there might be one thing left.
Yeah, she ate that chocolate.
Yes.
I didn't get any.
It wasn't for you. The oil.
She wouldn't let me have one piece.
No, the oil's for you.
Okay. Yeah, that's what she told me. She'd leave me alone with my chocolate and go drink your oil.
And my pretzels and popcorn. There was all different stuff.
A lot of people I don't know what we're talking about, but there was a package out here.
Yes. Someone's.
The UPS man or somebody dropped it out here by the gate. I didn't even see it, and I picked it up and carried it in the house and opened it, and there was some Husqvarna mixing oil and them little optional boxes that go from smaller to bigger.
I know.
They're full of candy and goodies, and Debbie said, "Well, I know that's for me."
Yes.
And the oil's for you. And she wouldn't let me have none of the candy. So
Nope.
You can be proud of her. She didn't share, and I didn't beat her up and make her give me any.
Well, I didn't want any of your oil, so there. Yeah.
Okay.
But anyway, thank you. Thank you. You're very sweet.
We really don't want that kind of stuff.
But thank you anyway. You're very, very sweet.
We ain't gonna
you can send me. You can send me chocolate. Just don't send nothing to Randall. Randall, don't buy me chocolate. Why don't you buy me chocolate?
Because you're in there to buy it for yourself. We was in
But
Walmart
that's not
together
the way it
yesterday.
goes.
We was in Walmart yesterday together, and you bought chocolate.
You're supposed to.
I even took it out of the cart and put it on that belt where a lady could check it out, and then put it back in the cart and put it in the car and carried it in the house.
If that's the way you feel about it, next time you send me after oil, I ain't going to buy it for you. I'm going to tell you go buy your own oil.
Well, that's happened. I told her to do this and that, and she come home. I forgot.
I went to go get groceries the other day and forgot milk.
Yeah.
How bad is that?
Yeah.
But anyway, thank you all for watching, everybody.
Yeah.
And Randall says, thank y'all for liking and subscribing and commenting, because he loves comments.
Yeah, I like to answer them comments.
Yes,
I don't care.
he's a commenter.
I mean, if somebody wants to comment on what a big mess it is, I mean, who am I to argue with them? I know it's a mess.
Well, I'm the one been commenting. You got a big
I know
mess.
it's a mess. But you know what?
But you're encroaching
It's
on
my mess.
But no, you're encroaching on my side of the property. I'm gonna have to take you to court. See,
What?
you're
Believe it or
supposed to.
not,
Yeah.
I loaded up and hauled a pickup truck load of stuff out of right here.
Well, I do not believe it.
I did.
I'm like the Ripley's, believe it or not.
Hold
I
around
do
back.
not. I do not believe it.
I thought, well, it can sit around back and crammed up inside of a school bus or a van just easy as it can over here.
Okay, everybody, I'm going to say goodbye and thanks for watching. And be sure and like and subscribe and comment below. Thank y'all. Bye.